Welcome back to another episode of Boys Love Universe League. This week we are recapping episode 4, and as always, I'm Adam.
And I'm RJ. Welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back.
Oh, ready?
Ready?
Who am I? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Listen.
You know what?
You know what?
They listened last week.
They listened
They
last
listened
week.
from the past into the future. And took our notes.
Took our notes that we need to get some.
We need
a little more.
We need
from
clarity.
Sun. Yeah, we need to figure out why we're rooting for Sun.
Mm-hmm. And you know what?
They gave it to us.
I'm
this
now
episode.
rooting for Sun.
And now I'm rooting for Sun.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
It takes so little for me to
so
work.
little.
Root
Just show
for
me
you.
a little. Show me a little. Show me a little.
I have some notes for this episode.
Oh, interesting.
Across the board.
So,
you know what I love about Universe League so far?
Mm-hmm.
Is that we are starting the new songs so early.
I know.
So early.
I think this is it. I think it's new songs from here on out.
Great.
Which is good.
It's great. It makes, well, first of all, I have to do less prep
right
when we do these recaps.
Yeah, so you don't have to watch.
I don't have to watch whatever from Monsta X or whoever the fuck. But also, I feel like them singing original songs means there's less chance for the audience to be
biased,
thinking of what are they holding them against.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Right.
There's already a pre-established idea of what a song could be, so that you can like just watch it and be like, it's like you get cast in South Pacific, and so you just watch the movie to be like, okay, this is what that is. But
it's the Hello Dolly thing. You're just watching it and be like, well, are you Barbara Streisand?
It's a double-edged.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say Funny Girl more than.
Oh, that's what I mean. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not Dolly.
Yeah. Let's talk about episode 4 of Universe League. So episode 4, we finished episode 1. We are now in the Intercept. Challenge. Okay. And this means that each starting lineup is given a song.
Yeah.
An original song. And then the 3 bench teams are able to pick who they're going to challenge in order to potentially intercept the song. Whoever wins between the two
gets
groups
to release the song.
I
love it.
Now streaming.
I feel like it gives them stakes, because then it's like, even if they don't make it to the final, right? Even if they don't debut, they get a song that they recorded in the show.
Yeah. You get a release.
Yeah.
You can point to something and be like, I did that.
I did the damn thing.
Yeah. So Rhythm gets a song called Ignition.
Remix the Ignition.
Beat
Popping fresh out the kitchen.
gets a song called Mamma Mia. Parenthetical. Who we are.
Parenthesis.
Parenthetical.
Yeah.
And Groove, this says Grove, by the way. I typed it as Grove.
And Grove gets, and the Grove, where they performed at the Grove.
And the Grove gets Presume.
Yeah. Prison. The bench team, there is one bench team that will get to pick who they want to face.
Yes. And I don't think they've heard the song.
They have not heard the song.
They just are
like,
team.
I just know they'll probably get a song that's like this.
Yeah.
And we know that we can beat them in this.
Right.
So Groove's bench is the one that gets chosen because
they won.
Yeah. So Groove gets to pick between beat or rhythm to intercept.
Correct. Because they can't choose the same team.
Yes, yeah.
So they end up. So Kyung-oh, basically, who is like
the appointed leader,
basically of.
There was a whole performance. There was a whole drag performance. This whole section took like what? 1/3
like
of the
45
episode.
minutes.
Yeah.
It's crazy how
them
long
like
this took.
Talking like, whoa, we can really beat them. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. I mean, Beat's starting lineup of the 3 starting lineups got the weakest score.
Yeah. It makes
objectively makes sense that that's who you would choose.
You can beat them.
Right. If you have to choose between Rhythm and Beat, you can't choose Groove.
You can't choose Groove, yeah. But Kyung-oh walks to Rhythm, and they're all like, "Don't give him the jersey," blah 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 blah. And he like asks for a fist bump basically, but then walks away, and on this way back picks up Beats from Cha-eungi's lap, like it's just laying there, and he grabs it. And
that's
now,
just a tickle of what's to come, a little tease.
Yeah, but basically this becomes the storyline for, like, I would say this whole round.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because the way they tease it at the end, this is just for this round. I think that solves itself.
Yeah. Which leaves Rhythm starting lineup is going to go against Beat's bench, and then Groove starting lineup is going to go against Rhythm's bench. Okay? So those are how we are shaking out. The only difference in terms of like the game system of the show is that for this time, the scores for the round are going to come from both in-person and online voting.
Yeah.
So let's get into these numbers, okay? We start with Ignition. So this is Rhythm's starting lineup. We have, to remind everyone, we have JL, Shuaibo, Steven, Hiroto, Daisuke, Chuan, and Juwon.
So Hiroto and Chuan are the swaps.
Yes, they're new.
Hiroto, who was last picked in the draft.
Yes.
But then was like 6th or 7th, right? In the votes.
Yes.
For Groove.
An insane. I don't understand. I need someone to tell me what I missed.
I think he's just because he's tall.
Because it's
like because it was just audience voting.
Correct.
But
there were people with Hiroto's signs.
Yeah. So maybe he has a following.
So the package, okay? In this package, because Chuan is new to the team, he had come from Beat. They are doing things over in the rhythm side of the world.
Yeah,
things are very different.
Things move quick.
People already know the choreo. We're auditioning specifically. We're sending videos to the
we're sending videos
to the directors.
To Ten and Yang. Yeah.
But we have a beautiful new friendship coming out of this, RJ. Chuan and Shuaibo form a bond. Oh God!
And the way they eked this out, like literally, like it was just so satisfying. They get to the like interim, the self-taping, right? And Chuan's like, "Wow, everyone's so good," and like everyone already knows. And he's still,
I think Chuan is probably an I. He's probably an introvert.
Yes,
he seems a little like
in
not into himself, but like inward.
Yes. So after they did their self-taping, they're kind of just like in the practice room, and Shuaibo just like walks up to him slowly. And just like speaks in Chinese, like, "Do you need help? Like, do you want to work on this?"
Yeah.
And
he's the first person. Sean says he's the first person to reach out and be like, "Hey,
let's
be friends." That's like a very fourth grade thing to say, but like, "Hey, let me help you.
Let's work on this together." Yeah. And then they're working in practice rooms together. There is just something I've noticed it from Shuaibo in this show.
Oh my God.
That he is so vocally present and
the growth?
cheering. The growth, but he keeps cheering on all the other Chinese and Chinese speaking trainees.
Yes, he does.
Like it's very
true.
sweet.
It's very sweet.
He's really cheering for all of them.
Yeah, I don't think looking back that I don't look back at Boys Planet and I think like, wow, they really did the Chinese kids dirty in that show, in the way that I think there was a lot of conversation in Girls Planet.
Yes.
That happened more so. I didn't really feel, I mean, obviously, like, I think that is kind of naturally how it shakes out. Not naturally because, I just mean naturally because they don't really do that to the Japanese members.
Yeah. It just feels like sometimes the Chinese contestants in the Korean survival shows, they feel like they are going through a bigger hurdle language-wise, and I don't know if it's because there is certain Japanese-Korean similarities, at least even with like the syntax, like how you
the grammar structure,
so maybe it's a little easier to understand. But because
I think that's the bigger hurdle than like the actual vocab itself. Because technically, like there is a crossover from like Chinese, like original Mandarin.
Chinese, yes, original. Yeah. So I think there always just feels like a disconnect with the Chinese trainees. I think with Boys Planet, because Hao and Ricky, they were prominent Chinese trainees that do well in the show.
Correct.
I do feel like a lot of the Chinese trainees from Boys Planet that weren't like prominent in that way, like Shuaibo, kind of felt just like pushed to the back.
Yeah.
Because they're not like main characters.
And I also think that like in Boys Planet, Girls Planet, they sequestered them in 3 different groups.
And
so then all the Chinese trainees had to be together.
Yes, totally.
Whereas like in Boys Planet, it was like all the Koreans and then
global.
everyone else.
Yeah.
So I do think like just the global side, even though I think on average, I think there was like a weaker overall kind of average of like training on the global side.
Yeah.
Like I think they were like rooting for each other really hard. I bring that up to say I wonder if his experience on Boys Planet made him like not made him feel like he was othered, but more like I just want to be there for all the ones who I know are also going through.
Have a hard time. Yeah, it is hard. And I think like he has really grown. I mean, even when they get to when learning the part, he took the initiative to be like, my part's kind of small, but I think I can do small things to help elevate it and make myself stand out.
The rose was
the rose was his idea. So
last week,
we do have a little Silky Ganache moment. She is a gimmick queen, which we love. Listen, we love it.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
He's so, I mean, genuinely.
But it comes off really naturally. And
it comes off really naturally and like
works it off really well.
This week, like I just rewatched all the performances and like he really he's
grown.
His talent really has grown. Like he's so stable. I would not be like, oh, he's like center material. Yeah. But he's so solid that it's like I don't have to worry about him while he's up there.
Yeah, totally.
Like it's genuinely where he came from in Boys Planet to where he is now. It's very impressive.
It's leaps and bounds.
Yeah, for sure.
But he let's say embellishes this one center moment that he has.
Oh my God, with Steven.
And listen,
me too.
Shuaibo, me too, girl.
I would too.
Girl, I would use every opportunity I can with that man. And Ten and Yang, I like that he like asks.
Yeah.
He asks in Chinese. He's like, "Is it okay if I do this? But if you want, I can go back to the original choreography." And they both were very receptive. They were like, "No, I think it's nice. It really works." Steven, I actually think you could lock his eyes and really stare him down and really get him close.
Close.
Get in there. So. Yeah,
it's fun. It's smart.
Fun. Yeah.
I think weirdly, the package starts off being like it's about Sun, and then it ends being like Shuaibo's great.
Yeah.
And Shuaibo is great. And honestly,
great.
If you came from Boys Planet, there is a world where you could be like,
oh, Shuaibo's trying to do it again.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. And it's like the complete. This is so annoying, but like it's the complete Raj O'Hara.
Raj O'Hara, I know.
In All Stars,
I know.
And not. I don't even think like. And first of all, Shuaibo wasn't even ever mean in the first one.
She wasn't a villain at
Shuaibo,
all.
The only thing that happened was
Feel Special woongki.
Feel Special, and everyone except woongki was like, I don't feel comfortable doing this song because I'm not at that level to like pull this off.
They just painted
did the whole thing, and then the only reason people got mad at Shuaibo specifically
because he loves the song.
Was because he won. Because the audience voted for him over woongki
at the end,
and everybody got mad. Right. When who you should have been getting mad at was everybody in the fucking audience that voted for him.
Hello.
Not that I think he was even bad in that performance, but obviously, like if you watched that package, it was very clear that woongki went through it, girl.
Yeah.
So. And then woongki's gonna go through it again.
No. It really, I mean, I like that all of my current favorites are spread in the different teams, but it's starting to stress me out because it's like I want Shuaibo and woongki to do a number 2 and JL.
I'm so glad that I'm watching this with the knowledge that Cheongi is in this winning group.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else. Yeah. I don't know a single other person in this group. Yeah. I know people who haven't made it because y'all keep leaving weird comments about it. But I don't know who officially is in this group. I have guesses that I'm
assuming JL.
I'm assuming JL makes this group. It would be insane to be like, and then he flopped like crazy. But I know for sure. So I feel very like, like even with all this drama that's happening with woongki, I'm like, well, I know he makes it.
But I think but he honestly, after I would say episode 1, if you had no idea anyone, I think after episode 1, you still would have asked me. You'd been like, just tell me if woongki makes it. I can't watch this if I know that woongki doesn't.
I think maybe not after episode 1, but definitely after last week and the like
Oh, after losing Girls Never Die.
I mean,
Boys Never Die.
I do even if I didn't know, I still feel confident he's not going to go home at the end of this week because you have to have 2 yellow cards.
Right.
And he doesn't even have one yet.
Yeah,
so, like, I would
true.
be like, well, he's not going to go home this round.
Yeah.
If he goes home,
and
right?
he was the MVP, even though he was in the losing team.
And the other thing is, I would be like, oh, he's got a narrative on the show. And that, we've said time and time again, you need that more than anything else. More than talent.
More than talent. If the writers are writing you in, honey.
Yeah. Great.
You're good.
You're making it to the finals.
You're making the investors happy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about this performance. Okay,
Yes.
Let's talk about Ignition. This song is nothing. This song, I feel so frustrated that, like, this song is fine. I shouldn't say it's nothing.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's perfectly
but I also think,
whatever.
it's the first original song we hear.
It is. And
in the trajectory of the show.
In the trajectory of the show in full.
Competitive, yeah.
Yes.
It's not counting Signal.
Yes, in full. But, like, we hear, like, clips of the songs at the very top of the 3 songs, and immediately it's so clear that this is the song that is, like, the weakest of the 3. I think, like, off the bat, it just sounds so generic 2019 boy group K-pop. And there's, like, nothing interesting about it. I think the only part I actually like is the pre-chorus, the, like, JL pre-chorus.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like a Rosé pre-chorus in a Blackpink song.
Yeah.
That genuinely, that's the only thing I like about this song. I think the song is fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't dislike the
hook
song.
is, like, catchy, but, like, nothing.
But then and then Mamma Mia comes right after this, and you're like, well, here's a song.
Bitch,
here's an actual interesting number.
I know. Mamma Mia could be charting right now. You know what I mean?
She would be charting on my fucking phone right now.
But you can't.
But I can't stream because I don't know who wins. So I have to wait until next week.
Yeah.
So I can listen. Anyway, I'm very annoyed. But okay, so that's my frustration with Ignition.
Okay,
let's talk about my frustration. No, I'm not done. Oh. Let's talk about my frustration with these fucking outfits.
Oh.
Okay. First of all, harnesses, we're done.
We're done.
We've reached max capacity. I'm over it.
We're actually going to take it back.
We're reclaiming
our time. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're taking it back. It's going back to the leather archives.
Why are we wearing harnesses that are
blouse
baggy and then putting them over an oversized shirt?
Yeah.
What? Mama, what are we doing? Well, I don't understand. What am I supposed to... That doesn't look like anything.
On wearing a red harness
with
over,
a
like,
red tie.
With a red tie on an oversized blouse. I was like, okay, what are
It was that... Honestly, it's not even just the harnesses. The harnesses that was what I noticed yesterday. Because I was like, these harnesses don't even, like, look good. Like, they're not interesting. They're clearly, like... the cheap made
leathery
plasticky leather shit you've ever seen in your life. You got it on Temu, okay? That was where I started.
It's giving Temu.
Then when I was rewatching today, I was like, why is Juwon in a sweater vest?
Yeah.
Nobody else has that energy. He's in just like a white button down with a red sweater vest on top. Then I looked at JL and I was like, you're in like a red suede jacket. Like none of them go together. It doesn't make any sense. And then the background of this number
is all red.
For
like
most
fire
of the song.
truck red.
But it's the exact same shade as what they're
yeah.
wearing. So they start to like blend into the screen. And I was like, who made any decision for this number? I feel like last round I was like, everyone looks really good. Everyone like had a really strong visual language, like blah blah blah. But this, I got so annoyed by this.
I'm gonna say
Steven looks great. I'll say that. Steven looks great.
Yeah. Once again, 10 was like,
never wear a sleeve.
Fetch the scissors. Fetch the bolt cutter.
Yeah.
Fetch the sleeve cutters. Because that's what.
Yeah.
They have one on hand when Steven
put a
bandana
on his bicep.
Oof.
My God, it's also crazy because he is like Steven is like the epitome of like, banging bod, bro.
Yeah.
But like very young looking face.
Yeah, I know.
Like he's still
baby face Marva body.
He doesn't have baby face, but
young face.
It's just it's like adult body and like young adult face.
Yeah.
It's very
It's giving Kang
incongruent.
Daniel a little bit.
A little bit,
like a younger
yeah.
Kang Daniel.
Not like the visual, not
no, but
in the
just
way
like
that
the
they look,
energy of like brick.
Yes.
But then like
cute. Yeah. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay. The performance. I think this is super clean.
I think so too.
I think they are
Everyone
really
is
good.
very even.
No
one really stands out.
Correct.
Which to me is like, well, that's good, I guess.
Yes.
Like you're doing the song service. I think everyone shines in the moments when they're in the center. I think Hiroto, what the fuck is this half-second center line? Why does he have nothing to do?
Like, I don't usually even get into the K-pop like line distribution arguments of it all, but this is nuts.
I did like the Shuaibo Steven moment. It worked on us, honey. It looked really good.
I thought it was good. I didn't look. I actually looked up the lyrics to Mamma Mia. I did not look up the lyrics to this one. I don't know if it makes sense,
warrants it, but it's a good center moment.
Yeah.
And I think they both sell it really well. My thing with Steven is that there is a lack of kind of energy and confidence that protrudes out like what JL and Juwon do. There's like an ease and like having fun. Steven sometimes gives me the face that like he's thinking of every single thing at once. And I think there are moments where it's good, like here, when he's the center. But I feel like sometimes there's a disconnect.
This is so fascinating. Usually, if you've been watching this for a long time, usually RJ and I have the exact same opinions about stuff. And it's so fascinating when we don't. I completely disagree.
Like, oh, wow.
In this performance. I agree with like last week. And I do think there is something that like, I don't think Steven is like 100% there.
Because like Ten and Yang Yang said like, oh, everyone's getting more comfortable.
Yeah.
As the weeks go on. The performances go on.
And I think, yes, I agree that JL is so incredibly baked that it's almost like I would be like, can he not be in the group? Can we just
make it to the finals? Me to him. I don't need to see him perform anymore. Just take him go to the finals.
And of course, we're coming at this like not speaking Korean, right? So I'm sure to the Korean ear, it might sound a little wonky, right? Just in the same way that like in a moment when we talk about Hyotae. In Beats Ignition, his like English is like not there in the same way. So like it's like on my ear, I like hear it weird. So I don't know if that like the same thing has happened for JL. I just thought I was like really impressed with Steven this round. He was actually my favorite from this performance. I do think he has a lot of time in the center. He gets a lot of time to show off. He does. But I think like I still do think like overall JL kind of has the whole package. I just felt like Steven offered more in this performance than JL did.
Yeah, I think he has, like you said, he has more. He just has more time in center too.
Yeah. I liked him a lot. I really, honestly, and then I read and I watched it again. And
they're a good
honestly,
team.
guys,
this is
like
a really good.
They're
lineup.
really good. I don't think they're like. I don't think it's like, oh, and then they debut tomorrow, right? Yeah. Like I think there's like some like finessing that needs to happen.
But I could see a world that this is a debut group.
Correct. I think like Shuaibo just really impressed the fuck out of me because I was like, when you're in the center, you're doing your part immaculately. When I notice you off to the side, I'm not noticing a single flaw. Yeah. I'm not noticing like an extra
someone catching up,
right?
Or like he is. Yeah.
I feel like Hiroto had nothing to do. I felt like Daisuke's issue is going to be that he cannot give anything but cute.
I know.
It's going to be really hard.
It's going to be hard. Yeah.
But
it's working right now.
And it's weird to say that because even in this, like. JL is a very smiley performer, but his smile doesn't feel like I'm cute. His smile feels like
look how good this is.
Like I'm proud of like how good I am.
I'm proud of how good it is. And then Juwon's smile, I think
Juwon I also actually felt like didn't give me anything in this.
Yeah.
I didn't think he had a lot to do.
He didn't have a lot to do. He had like his good moments, but yeah, I think it's just
the distribution in this song really was like, what is going on?
Yeah, I think it's
so
the song.
weird. Yeah.
I think Ton does a really good job.
Yes, let's talk about Sean. Let's talk about
Sean really does a good job. I think like there is something that I said like it feels like something unlocked out of him because the whole shuaibo kind of including him. I don't think that he was like being ostracized in Beat, but I think Beat was having its own problems.
Yes.
Just trying to muster up a performance.
Yeah.
With Boys Never Die last week.
Correct.
That I think here he was able to kind of like, I'm just as good as everyone else here, so like I can just like let loose a little bit. It was awkward, right? Like he's still kind of like, but it's like endearing awkward. Like him trying to like lift his abs was kind of like I don't know. It just felt very like boop. But it worked on me. I don't know. It's cute.
Like from this episode, I was like utterly charmed by him.
I know.
Which is so insane because like the past 2 weeks, I was like, what am I missing?
What am I missing?
Is there something I'm missing?
Yeah.
And I don't think he's the strongest performer on the show, let alone this group.
Yeah.
But I think that there is something there, and I think he like my biggest thing is that he's going to have to connect with his face.
Yeah. Because
it's just dead eyes, and then his ending fairy truly takes me out, but not in a way that it bothers me. It's just I'm so used to idols that are completely aware of what exactly they have to sell with their face. Like Woongki is a great example. Later we'll talk about it. But like Woongki, every time he does anything, he has his head tilted the exact angle so that it's like giving you a beauty shot. Yeah. Like it's so studied.
It's the Han Yujin. He knows that this is like the angle.
It's so studied and perfect that it's like it's so shocking that like Chan isn't there yet.
Yeah,
of course, like you aren't naturally born with that gift, right? No. Like it's just so funny to me because I can see why he would be like, or like doing his like, breathing or whatever and being like, I'm going to look really intense, but like he overshoots intensity. And of course you're on camera. So it's just like, whoa, it's so good. I just, completely charmed by him in this episode. So I'm totally rooting for him.
Yeah.
Even like when they do later, when they like people do the voting and he goes to like lift his abs or whatever.
And so I was like, no.
I just think like I kind of like the idea that
he's game for it.
He's game, and he's like, no, I know that I'm hot, but there's still something a little awkward about it. Like it's so, I don't know, that kind of dichotomy is really funny to me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Beat's performance of Ignition. So this is Beat Bench. We've got Hanso Dongyun, Jang Fan, Jihoon Hyotae, Royce, and Lee Ji-wei. Now, 6 of them have a yellow card. Only Lee Ji-wei does not have a yellow card.
Yeah.
Lee Ji-wei had come from Groove. He was the last ranked on Groove, and so Chang Sub traded him away. And Royce came from Rhythm.
And there was a moment where they're like, Royce, you were in Rhythm. Like, what are their weaknesses? And he was like,
me.
They was me. That's why I'm here.
I would say that's true.
Yeah.
So in the package, they are given a full underdog story.
Yeah.
The truest. We get the definition of the word underdog as the start of the package.
No one puts doggy in the corner.
Correct. This almost feels like first seed. Because sports first seed playing like 16th seed. Is that how people say that?
First seed playing like, I mean, it is. It's the best. It's the best performing team is going against the weakest team.
Yeah, although technically, well, okay, obviously the lineups have switched a little bit, right? So it's not a 1-to-1, but like technically last week we liked Beat's bench better than we liked Rhythm's bench.
But it's not the same bench from last time,
right? It's not the same lineup.
It's not the same lineup.
So they definitely have, a hurdle.
Yeah.
But they're up for the challenge, which is very exciting. Jang Fan is like pointed out as the dancer.
Yes.
And that's correct.
And
then they come up with this like there's a bunch of like conversation of like how do we make this more explosive or something like that. So they come up with this idea of doing like pulling banners out at the end of the song and like using them as props and then throwing them at the end.
Track.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's got a gimmick.
Yeah. You gotta have a gimmick.
Other than that, no one is really singled out in
They
this.
did. What's
They
his
talked
face?
about Jihoon and how he was like, definitely last week I fucked
It is
up.
my fault.
Yeah.
So I will do better this time. Okay, so what did you think of Beats Bench?
Jung Fan.
Jung Fan is.
I don't think he's gonna get in this
I
group.
don't think
have
Jung
a strong
Fan is gonna survive the show, but my God,
but
he
needs to be a performer. He's so good.
He's so good.
And honestly,
yeah.
just being like, oh, and he's just a good dancer. His vocals are also really strong in this. Like I was like, he's kind
of perfect.
He's kind of eating the girls alive.
Yeah.
And I was like frustrated that I was like, but he already has one yellow card.
Yeah, I know.
They're gonna lose that. Like, I'm so worried about
I was
him,
annoyed I was annoyed that he didn't get enough votes because I think after woongki, he probably would have been second. He should have been second.
I agree. I completely agree. I think he is such a talent.
I know.
And I think this performance specifically, this is the opposite effect of the rhythm performance, where everybody's kind of even, so that it's like, oh, this looks like
the
you
good
all
are good
a
and the bad are bad. Like
yeah.
you see the cracks.
You see the cracks.
You see the cracks, and it is
the
Royce,
cracks
and it is
in the bowl.
And it is Jihoon. You know,
yeah.
it's Jiwei. Like,
oh well, okay. So hold on. Okay, Lee Jiwei has kind of like I don't know if it's technically the main vocal line or maybe he's like sub vocal one or whatever, but like he has a bunch of vocals in the song. Vocally, Lee Jiwei sounds great.
Presence, nothing.
Oh.
When he is in the center, he is just like looking at a mirror. There's like nothing. Like
there's nothing.
Like, Diva, you're on stage.
I know. And there's a point where he like walks to the center and he's like looking around to where his mark is as he's singing. And I was like, oh no, mama. Mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
Oh, mamma mia. And then Royce. Oh my God. So Royce can't find the rhythm.
Yeah.
And he gets off.
Yeah.
He gets off beat a couple times. He corrects it like, in the middle of his thing, but like basically both solos he like is off beat. And I was like, oh, it's so fascinating though, because if you watch the edited version, and by that I mean the edited version in the show, not even the one they showed in the show, not even the full where it's just the performance itself, not the cutaways. Like the one in the show with the cutaways to the reactions.
They're not showing any negatives. They're like, wow, ooh, the passion.
Yes.
Ooh, wow,
they're showing
so
all
good.
The good parts, and they're showing like everyone's reaction being like, wow, like, oh my God, crazy, right?
Shuaibo being like, Jiwei,
yeah. Mm-hmm. They are fully trying to make this feel like
they have a chance.
This is, you don't know which way the wind is going to blow. Mama, go back.
Watch the performance.
Watch that full cam. Mama, watch the full cam.
You know where it's going to go.
It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. And it's just, Jung, I just want to sing his praises.
Yeah,
he's so
is
fucking
like,
good in this. Bye. Bye, Jung Fan. Oh, no. I'm going to be so upset. Are you mad?
I'm sad.
If the first vote, like, this is what I'm worried about. I'm worried about this is a Fantasy Boy situation where we're voting for people that are already gone.
I think that's gonna happen in this first one. I think
that's what I mean. I'm worried about it.
They're gonna count votes.
Period. They're gonna count votes. Somebody commented last week being like, well, the producers already picked who they wanted in the lineup of this group before the show even started, so all of this is pointless. And I just want to say, I don't know why you're watching this then. Like, I don't. If you feel like it's that cynical for you, feel free. That's totally your prerogative. I just don't see. I don't see. People love to throw this accusation around of being like, oh, it's already predetermined before anyone even steps foot on the stage, right? Yeah. And I don't see in what world that is beneficial to the producers, to the label, to anyone. Because the point of doing a survival show is that you're getting real-time data of what people like.
Yeah.
It might not always exactly work out, right? Like, you're going to try to skew people more toward who you see as a fit for the group. Mm-hmm. But, like, to fully ignore...
like a television show that's being crafted, that's, like, being done, storylines are being told, like... yeah, everything.
I don't. I have a hard time believing. I'm not saying that there's no influence from producers.
Course.
I'm not stupid.
Of course.
I just don't believe that it's like there's no point in even voting because it's already determined. I simply don't believe that. But maybe that's my naivete. Maybe I'm just an innocent little lass about the whole thing. I don't know. I don't know why you would go through the mess of doing it this way, because you can just make a survival show. Just debut a group, but you can also make a survival show where there's no votes. There's no public votes ever.
Exactly.
You can absolutely do it that way. I am not. I definitely think that there's like people that they like want to succeed and they will give them good narratives.
Yeah.
But I also think that it is a living, breathing product as they are making it. And if something happens, the reason it's not predetermined is because they have to be able to ebb and flow to decide if, like, there's probably... Okay, let's realistically say there are 42 contestants on the show.
Uh-huh.
There is probably... I don't know. It's probably a 7-member group, I'm assuming, because they keep doing 7. Okay, so there's 7 members. There's probably 18 people that they have, like, as
stories.
Like, that's who we're probably narrowing it on.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's probably about 18 people that are good enough to debut as well.
Yeah.
It's probably the exact same people.
It's probably the exact people.
And so then Rhythm
wins.
Yeah, Rhythm won.
That's probably
that's probably right. Should we take a break?
Yeah, I think let's.
All right, and finally our last performance of the day, we're going to get Beats starting lineup performance of Mamma Mia (parentheses Who We Are).
Mm-hmm. El Capitan was like, right off the bat, this is a song that I am choosing not to sell to anyone, not even for the highest bidders.
Yeah.
Not a Hype.
People want this song
not
real
a
bad.
Hype nor a JYP. Not an SM or a whatever. YG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is... I went to Greece.
On Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, on Vixen.
I went to Greece, okay, and met 3 men.
Jesus. Don't take my joke.
My life.
Don't take the joke.
And it inspired me so much that I wanted to write a song about it.
Sophie. Mm-hmm.
My name is Sophie El Capitan.
No, what's Meryl's name? Donna. And I had a group.
And
they were called the Dynamos.
Donna and the Dynamos, yeah.
Okay. This is... The lineup is Woongki, Kairi, Jino, Anyul, Doyoon, Yeonjun, and Yuito.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
So the package
is just the Changi story.
Yeah.
And it starts even before we go back in time.
Yeah.
It starts from like again, we already talked about when Kyungho picks the jersey. This is the Kyungho Woongki story.
We are hashing
registered trademark.
We are
copyright,
hashing this out on TV.
National television.
We are seeing what happens.
Yeah. It all goes down tonight.
And they play the pre-interviews of them being like, yeah, we were in this group. Like, Woongki basically comes from a place of like, I knew that it took a lot out of me to leave the group because I knew where it was going and like how bad things were.
Yeah.
And so I think inferring that like he carries a very strong sense of like self-pride of like, I was able to step away from a bad situation.
Yeah.
And like, obviously things weren't great afterwards. Like I've done things, but like, I'm still struggling. I'm still doing this.
Yeah.
Is the point. So there's a sense of like, I have to beat Kyungho. I have to show that like, I've done better for myself since the group.
Mm-hmm. I think, first of all, I just want to say, Woongki has an incredible media trained skill.
I know.
Because
to be able
the way he navigates this conversation,
talks about it in such a diplomatic way.
Yes, he never talks bad about the agency. He never says anything bad about the group. He doesn't even indicate that his time was bad in the group.
Yes.
He just is like, it was just an unfortunate set of circumstances and I had to walk away.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Right. Yeah.
Because Mama, I'm sure the book that this man could write about what went down could be a tome.
And that's the thing. You see his personality. Even when he's running this like the rehearsal for this number. Like
Mm-hmm.
he is able to just like say what he feels off the top of his head. He does not like he knows that he is filtering. Like
Yes.
he has that skill of like, I'm saying only what wants
Yes.
to be heard.
He is. Yes. He's incredible.
He's incredible.
I mean, like, just the level of the commitment to this as a profession is crazy.
Yeah.
What I did find interesting though is in their pre-show like interviews or whatever, Kyung-oh basically was like, "Can we not talk about this?"
I know. Because they ask him like, "Is there someone that you know?" And he's like, "I do, but I don't want to talk about it." You're put in that situation of like, we're all just trying to do our best with what we have, and like,
and they literally, I mean, like, they've basically indicated that like performers aren't even like worker. They're not even employee. Like they're like so far down on the list of people that even though they have this weird status of like being celebrities, they're also like have no power in any way whatsoever.
Oof, unionize the
think,
damn
oh my
idol
God,
industry.
it's so crazy. You don't want to have to do a survival show to get in a group and then have everything happen the way it happened, and TOO became TO1, and then members left, and then more members left, and new members came in, and then they still ended up disbanding because all the resources ended up being funneled into Boys Planet and Zero Base One and da-da-da-da. And, like, I'm sure the Keplians could have their own conversation of, like, how they feel about Wake One's management skills as well. And it's unfortunate that at the end of the day, it's not just the fans who, you know, are receiving a product and getting something out of it that are affected, but it's like these actual people who are just trying to like, do a job and live their dream and like put in hundreds of hours of training to do this exact thing and then just have it be completely mishandled in every possible conceivable way that it's not even on them that this shit falls apart. Do you know how I was reading some of the comments who were like talking the story about this? Yeah. And one of the members who left or like was was in the group. He's like said he never even wants to dance again because of how bad it was. Like how awful he feels about the whole endeavor. And it's just I feel like someone should go to prison for energy. I know that sounds crazy, but like you are warping these people to make a I mean, like it gives the energy of like we're shelving Acme versus Coyote because we can make a tax break. We can make tax break money. Yeah, that's the energy sometimes where you get from some of these groups where you're like, people don't you have a group, but they haven't. TOZ, great example. Yeah. You haven't done a thing. Do they exist? Are they alive? Are they in a dungeon? Yeah, like what? I think so. I can't believe there's not more investigations of these fucking labels because I understand that it is a for-profit business. I'm not a dummy. But my God. I mean, like, I don't envy anyone in the industry on either side because I'm sure it's very hard work. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of complicated decisions that go into all of it. And it's just, I'm sure it's so bureaucratic. And I'm sure it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to manage. But boy, howdy, I would love to see more effort put in from some of these companies just to indicate that they like are thinking about what they're doing. And that's the thing. We're not asking for them to be perfect, but we're just asking them to like be considerate that these are also human young adults who gave up their childhood, minors, actual young youth who gave up their childhoods just so they could do this. Correct. To do this for, I mean, ideally, sure, forever, but like 10 at best, 10 years, 7 years, 5 years, just like the prime of their life. So then they so they can't date anyone publicly. Like what? So they can end up on Exchange 7 and have their own dongjin dage. Be like, yeah, we were in a secret relationship for 13 years. And we had to break up? And I could never actually, oh my God. You put these people through hell and then, oh my God, don't get me started. Anyway.
So anyway, that's how we feel about Chaomi.
Anyway, togethers, I understand.
Yeah.
I would feel just as upset as you are.
Yeah.
You were. Changi's story. Okay. So this package then becomes he's upset that Kyungo chose him because it's almost like the energy is I don't even want it. By picking me, we are now going to have to address
it. Yeah.
And
I think they probably both had going into it, not that it was like agreed upon by the two of them, but I think they both were just like, I think we're just going to try and do the show and be knowing that other person exists in the show, but I'm just going to focus on myself and not have to think about or talk about the past because we are just trying to move past it.
Yeah.
But because Kyungo had this opportunity and just the way the chips fell, that beat probably is the lineup that they could beat with who they have on their lineup.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to pick you.
Right.
Obviously, he could have picked Rhythm, but he's like, I probably can beat your lineup.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And it's about me getting into this group.
And I want to be in this group. So woongki does get a little stressed.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of the members, not mean.
No.
And I think they say that they're like, usually we're, Eungi Hyung is like really cheerful and enjoyable, but he's just really focused and
so
determined.
intense on this one.
Because even in the times where he's like bickering and like, you're still not doing it, you're still not Anil, you're still offbeat or whatever, there's still a level of like they're able to smile and laugh and not.
Well, and I also think like it's so clear they have so much respect for Eungi.
Yes, they really do.
Because like there's a point where they go around and he's giving like each of them individual notes, and they even get to like Jinho, who's obviously Eungi's young, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna give you. They're like, will he give his elder notes too? And
he's like, yes, your voice cracks, diva.
Right, but I think like it doesn't feel like any of it is like he's bullying the members or anything like that. It feels like it's very like
steamrolling
intentional
the whole story.
And like, I think he is because he's been doing this for so long, he has such like a view of like what actually needs to be focused on instead of getting too granular. Like, here's the big picture.
And if anything, it's more just like I've been a trainee for so long that I just know what needs to be done, because either you're going to hear it worse from like Yugyeom or El Capitan. So I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
So that way we can fix it now when it's just us and not, feel like it's going to be the end of the world when that happens.
Yeah. And so the point I was like weirdly realizing as I was taking notes is they have the underdog narrative.
They are the
these
underdog.
two,
yeah.
Which is bonkers.
Because they're not the bench team.
Because they're not a bench team. They're a starting lineup.
It's like they already know coming that like Kyungo and Hanso will probably like lead this team. But I think just Eungi in general, even though he's doing really well, he's probably the MVP of Beat. And will be. There's just an inherent underdog story that they have given him.
Yeah.
Just from the situation and
also like
what we know of him.
Visually, he is like the exact opposite of Kyungo too. Yeah. So, I mean, like Kyungo is very like tall, broad-shouldered, like handsome, blah, blah, blah. And like Changi is cute and sweet and like always funny and lighthearted and short and whatever. And so it's like every avenue about this story is like leading to this like the rivals.
Yeah.
RIVAL rivalry.
What I do like that it's the rivalry also isn't like, we have two JLs. Like they're two aces. They're giving the same thing. So it's just a matter of who's gonna get it at the end.
Yeah.
They are giving two different energies. They are two different.
There is a world in which I could believe neither of them make
neither
this
of them make him, or they could both be in the group and they're both doing different things.
Yes, correct. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So Eungi is like, we are doing this for me. We're winning for. I mean, like the narrative truly becomes like we have to win for me.
We have to win this. It's like,
and then Yugyeom comes and is like, so I hear you've all heard Eungi's story, so we do have to win this for him. It's crazy. I mean, like no one has the more like clear main character narrative than Changi in the show.
It's like I would say like 80% we have to win this for Woongki, and 20% is like El Capitan is gonna leave the show if we lose the rights to his song.
There's an energy that I'm like, was this whole endeavor
Created
crafted
for
for
Woongki?
Woongki? Is there someone who's like, he got a raw deal, I'm gonna make this right? Well, first of all, it should have been us. Is what it should have been.
Yeah, this is our survival show.
This
Did
should
we
have been
write
what
this,
we made.
girl?
Did we do that? Did you take our money and do this?
Did we write this?
Because I mean, that would, if I had $1 billion, that's what I would do.
Make a survival show.
I would be like, make a survival show, and then I would do the thing.
You
I
would
just
be the
said
person that you said that doesn't happen.
Exist. I would
You
do that
will
for
write it.
Haruto.
Uh-huh.
I will always come back to Haruto.
Yes,
That's
absolutely. He
That's
deserves
my son.
justice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you think of this performance?
Okay, first of all, any single group, name me a group.
Uh-huh.
Sir, for $1, name a group.
Uh-huh.
Any group, even experienced groups, would find this challenging.
Yes.
Because this song is so much, and this choreo is like just as much as the song itself. Like the song is not vocally challenging in that it's like super high or
super
anything,
high
right? Like that.
But it's so complicated. There's peaks and valleys. Like they keep having to like go back and forth between belting and like head voice just because there's melodically with how the song is built.
There's a lot of chest voice. Like there's a lot of low parts too, which are like sometimes are even harder to
when
like
you're trying to dance,
force and perfectly do. I was watching this like,
and the choreo is hard.
And the choreo is, it's not even hard. It's just not. It's nonstop choreo.
Yeah,
there is not a single like momentary like minute.
We've
of
gone
rest.
so far from whatever that song was in the first episode where they're just like walking. In aisles,
mm-hmm.
you know.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We've really come a long way from there.
Yeah.
This song is.
Gosh.
I want to listen to it on repeat.
Yeah.
I want to listen to this, and I want to listen to "Chest" by Just B on repeat for like the next 2 straight weeks. Like that's all I want to do.
The song is really good.
The song is so good.
I understand why there is such a sense of pride from this song.
Oh, and I understand why. Because he says like people wanted to purchase this song.
People wanted to buy this song,
and I would,
guys, and I said no.
All I could do was be like,
who do you think?
I mean, for sure, Wake One wanted this for CB1.
I think it sounds like a song that could be a CB1 song.
Such a CB1 song,
absolutely.
But like, I could see like TXT doing this song.
I could see Rhyhm really showing a lot of money.
I could see like
for the song.
Twassa going in a new direction with this song. Like, so many groups that I was like, this is incredible. There are girl groups that I was like, they would eat this song because it's so not gender specific.
I know. Yeah,
it's like such like a dance number that it's like is kind of just a unisex whatever. It's
Captain Cooks, honey. The Captain Cooks.
El Capitan
Cook, honey.
Yeah. The choreo is incredible.
I think not everyone stands out.
Correct.
But not in a way like Ignition where it feels like Ignition Rhythm where it's like because everyone's on an equal level playing field.
Correct. I think Kyrie does really well, but for some reason in the edit, every time they cut to him,
Kyrie,
he has dead face, and I was so confused.
Yeah.
Because I know he doesn't. Well, I've now seen him multiple weeks now, so I was like, oh, that's so weird that those are the moments they're choosing to cut to him. And I wondered, this is like here when we talk about the editing, this is where I was like, oh, are you trying to edit it to make it look like he's not as good as Woongki? Not that I'm saying like whatever. I think Woongki is so good in this. But
they are focusing that like he is
the
star of this number because that's the story.
That's the story. Kum Jin-oh does great. I think it's Do-yoon's time to go. Unfortunately,
Nanan Nam Do-yoon, it's time to say goodbye.
I think he's very sweet, and I like how hard he tries.
I do too.
And I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen probably about as much growth as we're gonna get. Unfortunately,
I think the growth that he'll need to make is gonna be steeper from here on out.
Correct. I think it's gonna be bigger hurdles.
It's gonna be a bigger hurdle from now on.
I think he looks. I don't think it's a bad performance.
No, I don't think so. I think he does a good job, but you can see That
he looks like a trainee.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
I think I just like the song so much that it like I think I'm forgiving a lot of the performance because of how good I think the song is.
So too.
But Yeonjun and Yuito there's no way they're making this group because not in a way that I think they're bad, but in the way that
they are not interested. They are not interested. Which I think Yuito like is solid. I think they're both pretty solid. I think Yuito is more solid.
Yeah.
I remember him doing really well in Hard Carry that I was like, clearly these are people that are doing well because they got enough votes to get up. Or at least there's something there.
Yeah.
Anyul, even though like he still reads really young, like I think that's his biggest hurdle. Just the ones that are really, really young just look really, really
They look really, really young. But I mean, this is the perfect song for all of the young ones.
That's what I'm saying. This, I think what'll end up happening is that will I prefer just this version of the song than the energy that like Groove's bench will give? Because right now they're making it look like this is the like more dreamy, not necessarily soft.
No,
but it's a lighter touch.
It's not bright, but it's like a new version of bright.
Yeah. It's like a ZB1 like feeling.
Yeah.
And I think Groove's bench is going to come in a little harder just because knowing Kyungho and Hanso are in it.
Yeah.
Just from the fact that we've seen them perform a harder concept.
The other thing I want to say about this is the stylist ate down with this woongki look.
I know.
Ate.
I like these costumes. I like the blue. I like blue, but like, I think they have a better understanding of what the looks are.
I thought the blue costumes were more. I like that they use different shades of blue. Like the red, I was annoyed that it was the same shade of red. Yeah. And I thought like this one. I mean, they're softer materials, right? That's not as hard of a song, so they don't have to wear leather or anything like that. But I just thought like this one visually, it matched the tone of the song.
Yeah.
I don't know how Groove is doing the same number
in denim.
Is it denim or was it like camo?
It's denim. It's denim because Kyungho is wearing the sleeveless end.
Denim.
It's denim. Yeah, we'll see.
I can't even give you an idea of who's gonna win. I think narratively it would make most sense for
Kyungho's team to
win.
Yeah.
Because they're the underdog.
Yeah.
And you got to get one underdog to win.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to be Rhythm beating Groove.
Yeah.
Right? That's who's going up against each other?
Beating Groove.
No, Rhythm bench going up against Groove. Groove, yeah. So.
All right. Well, join us on patreon.com/boyslove where you can watch our reactions to these episodes. Universe League, we're watching this, and we're watching Secret Relationships, the 2 YouTube show recaps. And on the Bob level up top, we're watching Kin Porsche. So make sure you join us there. Woongki, no matter what happens, because apparently next week is going to be trouble because you're going to be crying. And
what do you think he's going to say?
Kyungho is going to not apologize.
It's not an apology.
But it's not an apology, but it's an acceptance that like what happened, like fully being like,
because he says in the like preview, he basically says like, I never got a chance to tell you this.
Yes. So it's gonna be good, and I think like it's more I think of a cathartic cry.
Yeah, I think
from
so too.
Woongki to be like,
my guess is that he's gonna be like, I've always thought you were a great performer, and
tonight proves it.
Yeah, like something like that.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I'm sad. I mean, I know it's gonna be hard.
Although
to watch,
if he gets up there and he's like, I always knew you were shit, I would be like, you know what? That's TV.
That's TV, honey. We'll say TV.